the exercises in class number 167, active back care. I'm just going to go through the exercises, talking a little bit as I do them, and hopefully you can follow along. If you want more detailed explanations, have a little look at 167. So we're going to start off with some roll down. So feet nice and wide, insteps parallel. Taking the chin onto the chest, pulling the belly button in, letting those arms hang, rolling all the way down and rolling all the way back up, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Keeping the pelvis above my feet, allowing the spine to unravel and then rolling back up the other way. Follow the spine down the wall, along the floor, to your toes, then allow the arms to hang. Maybe shake the hands, check that there's no tension there. When you're at the bottom, nod your head, shake your head, wiggle your shoulders around. Strongly tuck the pelvis under, there's going to be a lot of that movement going on. And one more time. Check your breathing, keep it relaxed, keep it even. Rolling back up. So we're essentially mobilising, warming up the spine. Facing forwards, I'm going to gently reach down the side seam of my legs, my leggings, if I had one, which I haven't quite got. But essentially we're mobilising the side seam of the back of the torso. Maybe starting to just lift the arm up at the side, letting the head go over. Great. If any of this is too much, then just don't do it, but just otherwise keep it nice and gentle. And then let's take those arms out. So we've got a longer lever, but I call this my flowing side bend. So breath in as you come through the centre, breath out as you go over. Keeping your shoulders and your hips square to your front. Good, let's just do one here. So holding over onto the side, bend the knees, relax all the way down, roll up in the middle. Other arm up and over, bend the knees, relax down, rolling up in the middle. Our last movement for mobilising and just getting the spine warmed up and keeping it nice and free is our rotation of the spine. Let's just start with the hands on the shoulders and only do the shoulders. Elbows are staying out to the side, so I'm not bringing the elbows in. I'm keeping my waist fairly still and absolutely keeping the head facing forwards. Change this to hands on the hips and let the hips, the elbows and the shoulders rotate. Try and keep your feet quite still if you can, and your ankles quite still. Again, head is facing directly forwards. There's no leaning. I'm rotating around the spine. Now I'm going to let my ankles join in with the movement. So the outside edge of one foot, the inside edge of the other. Head is still facing forwards. Then I'm going to let my arms just hang and thwack my body at the end of the movement. Great word, that, thwack. You might even, if I exaggerate it, I'm slapping a little bit more. So arms are really relaxed, I'm not placing them. Now I'm fully rotating, apart from the very last part is to turn your head and look behind you. Check your breathing. Make sure that you're not holding your breath. Notice if one side is a little bit tighter than the other. Brilliant. So that's our mobilising stuff. I'm going to come a little bit closer to the camera and go sideways on. Next one is keeping your pelvis in neutral. So I'm in my neutral pelvis. I've got quite a big curve of the lower back. I'm just going to let my tummy relax, there it goes, and then I'm going to pull my belly button tight towards my spine. There's no change in the bones in my body. My pelvis is staying still. I'm just drawing that belly, lower belly area back towards the spine. Doing that a few times. Noticing nothing joining in the buttocks. The next thing to do, I'm going to bring my legs together, squeeze my legs together. You won't see anything going on here. I'm going to lift my pelvic floor. So I'm lifting pelvic floor from the sort of ground level, if you like, lifting everything in and up internally, as if I'm sort of pulling up a drawstring bag internally. The neck is nice and tight, and then I'm letting it relax down. Quite a good thing to do with your breathing. So as you breathe out, lift the pelvic floor, you'll notice your ribs funneling down, which is a really good thing to notice. From the side, again, there's absolutely no change. I'm always got a little bit of tension in my lower belly, so that doesn't even relax when I relax my pelvic floor. So lifting up internally, relaxing, lifting up. If you're doing it with the breathing, you'll notice the rib cage funneling down to meet the hips. Then I'm going to slightly bend my knees just to make this easier. I'm going to put one hand in the back, one hand in the front, and we're taking a pelvic tilt. So doing exactly the same, lower belly towards the spine and lifting pelvic floor, but now we're moving the pelvis. We're changing that angle of the pelvis, the pelvic bowl it's sometimes called. If you've got your hand behind, you could lower your hand down to the floor. That's the action we want. So quite a separate thing almost. And then I'm returning to a neutral. I'm trying not to let my lower back overarch. So we could take a roll down to get to the floor. Standing with my feet shoulder width apart, chin onto the chest, rounding the spine, softening the knees, coming down onto all fours, relaxing the feet. From all fours, we're just going to brace. No, we're not. In fact, we're going to take some spine circles. So if you haven't already, this is a great way of mobilising the spine. Circling that rib cage around, starting from a square box position. And then in order to brace our abdominal wall, I'm going to draw lower belly towards the spine. Maybe activate pelvic floor a little bit. I'm going to curl my toes under. I'm just going to lift my knees off of the floor by 1 inch maximum, holding everything in good posture. This is our bracing. This is one of the best things you can do to remind your abdominal wall how to switch on. Curling the toes under, knees are off, holding it there. Don't forget your breathing. 10 times 10 second holds if you are doing this one. No change in the spine. So ideally, I'm relaxing my feet when I'm down, but once I've curled my toes under and lifted up, there isn't any change in the shape in my spine. Position of the head is exactly the same. It's quite strong. It's very strong actually. Good. Bring your feet and knees together. We're now going to take the pelvic tilt in this position. So draw that belly button tight towards your spine. Send your tailbone down, and your tail, imagine if you had a tail, just send it between your legs. Really tilt that lower pelvis. Your upper back will join in a little bit, but focus on this drawing in here, this scooping in here, and then release. Squeezing the knees together a little bit if you can, as long as that's comfortable, or maybe having a cushion between your knees, or a football or something quite firm, to just activate those inside thighs as well. Again, we're mobilising, we're getting those deep pelvic muscles joining in. I missed out the sumo squat part. So from here, I'm going to curl my toes under, lift my knees up, walk my hands back to my feet, legs are still bent, feet are nice and wide, and then I'm going to take a roll up. So Sumo Squat position. I've gone as wide as my yoga mat. Here's my Sumo Squat. Fingers, if I face forwards, fingers are in, elbows are out to the side, and then we're standing. Sumo Squat and standing. Sending the butt back, look at the shape of my spine. It stays exactly the same, whether I'm standing or whether I'm down into that Sumo Squat. And completely sideways on, this should feel quite comfortable. Fingers are in, elbows are out. So a couple of those, and then hold this position. Take the pelvic tilt again. Tuck the pelvis under, scoop that tummy, and release. Tuck under, and release. Tuck under, and release. So it's like you're lengthening out that lower back, but really using your lower tummy. Pelvic floor is lifting and activating. You can't use your buttocks for this one, this position, which is why I quite like it. It also teaches that good awareness of the shape of your spine. Remember to look down. And then standing. Those are the things I covered other than lying on your back, but look at the end of the video of 167 for the lying on your back.